I'm Matt. Chad is out doing what every person either hates or loves, visiting family. Speaking of family, I'm here with my own. Family, say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
And you're listening to episode 101 of We Used to Talk About This at Work. Now, Chad's off visiting families, traveling across the country and things. So I had to get with somebody who I knew would be on. So I reached out to my family. So today I have Laura, Steve, say hi.
Hey.
Hello.
You guys remember them? They've been on before. And also I have my brother, Mike.
To all the lovely ladies out there, how you doing? It's Mike. Doing good, feeling fine.
So you gonna put on a new persona out here? Okay, for the podcast man, a new persona. All right, we'll see how this works. We'll see how this works. Okay.
Apparently, this is podcast, Michael. We don't know him.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. All right, let's start off, Steve. You was talking about lower paying jobs and things like that. What do you want to talk about?
So, like, I just wanted your guys' opinion. Would you take from like where your salary is at now? Would you take a lower paying job for something you absolutely love, or take a higher paying job for something you hate?
Right off the bat, no. I will take a higher paying job for something I hate because I want to make more money. Now, if I was had a job where if I took a lower paying job and I was still I was gonna say livable, that's not the right word. If I was comfortable, there we go. Then yeah, I'll do it. But I'm not going to take a lower paying job just because something I love, but I'm out here struggling.
Right.
yeah. I would agree. You know, bills are real, and I understand that. Right now, for where I'm at in my life, it's better to have money coming in and bills paid versus, I'm really doing what I love and appreciate. That can come with time, but right now, the focus for me is financially. So um, I hate it, 9 to 5, but after 5, I'm off and I still get paid. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure you said to me, like, you need to, your job is just a job. You have to.
exactly, just a job. So do it, do it what you need to do, and then get off, and then get that money and go have fun and use it to use it for what you want to do. I'm trying to be careful. I'm trying to talk about my life, so I don't want to be like, well, this person at work told me that. So in generalities, that I think it's maybe a challenging job, but if you're getting paid pretty great, you can tolerate it. Then I think that might be the better thing to do because you're getting paid. Then if things can change or swift other priorities, then you can change.
Right now, I may take the higher paying job because you can always, like take that PTO time and go on vacations and stuff with that extra money that you're getting. But, it's like, how long is that going to last if you hate the job?
I mean, right. It all depends because use that extra money to facilitate something else to, you know, stack up a little nest egg. So when you do take that lower job, or later on, if you do quit the higher paying one, take that lower job, you still got money to support.
I guess to me, it depends on, like, you hate it, like, but you can tolerate it versus, like, are you miserable every single day you go in there? Because that's like a different thing. If you are literally miserable, like, that would, you know, spill over into your regular life. And so that, to me, I guess the level of, is it like, oh, I don't like this person I work with, or I can do this, but I would rather do something else, versus like, oh, I'm miserable. Like, I can't even, like, I dread waking up and showing up at this place. Like, that's what would determine it for me.
And I think
Yeah,
about
I agree. I agree that too. Because if it's just I hate this job or whatever, and it's just all right, I'm gonna deal with it. But if it's you're miserable, then yeah, because that's gonna go into your body and stress and everything else
Your
like that.
personal life.
So that right. So then you might have to cut that out. But if it's just something like I hate these people or I hate this job, then you could tolerate it. But if it's deeper than that and stronger than that, then yeah, you might have to leave that leave that toxic environment.
Right.
And it almost depends on how much the job you love, how much less it is that you're getting now also.
Right.
Right. It's like
Everyone's got their number in their head of
Matthew
what
said,
they would go down
if you
to.
could be comfortable doing a job you love, obviously you would do that as long as you were still comfortable financially.
Steve, you also wanted to talk about restaurants. What's up?
So we were actually talking to Michael the other day. We ended up going to the Cheesecake Factory, and
For what?
it was mentioned that
Oh, ignored.
some people thought it was a notch over Applebee's. So I was wondering, what do you think some of the most overrated or even underrated restaurants?
In my opinion, it depends on how you was raised. If you was going out somewhere, you went out to like Applebee's or something, but then if it was like a special occasion, then we would go out to like Cheesecake Factory or something like that. But if like your lifestyle is like cheesecake is a regular ass place, and I don't know, Benihana's or some other stuff or Ruth Chris or something like that is higher standard, then yeah, you're gonna be like, this stuff is overrated. But it all depends on how you was raised and how you grew up or how you treated these restaurants.
How were we raised? Your mom would say, I don't remember anything, but like what kind of restaurants? We were going to like Applebee's, that type.
We was going to Applebee's, we was going to Ponderosa's, we was going to Old Country Buffet. No, I've never.
A lot of buffets in there. That's
right. I didn't go to the Cheese Factory till I was in college.
Were you guys going to Ground Round, or was that just me?
What is that? I never heard of it.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Okay, so it was this place to where
white people.
Edit that out.
No, not keep it in.
It was like for kids where you could eat for whatever your weight was. Like if you were like 50 pounds, you ate for like 50 cents. But it was like the whole buffet style thing and all that.
Right. Because we have places out here in Japan to where like the gaijins go to. Gaijin means foreigners. So like when you have foreigners, okay, if you want steak here, they go to Steak Salon, and if they want ramen, they go to Raw Ramen. But me, I'm like, there's better places out there. So to me, those places are overrated just because it's the most common ones that Americans know to go to. But I don't like those. I like to go to the real ones, the ones where a lot of foreigners go to, the ones that's like not as popular, the ones that be in the cut you don't know and stuff like that. That's where the best food is. I be finding out.
So the person they were talking to about this was me. I'm not sure if that was made clear. It was me asking, and actually it was your sister Laura that told me, quote, I think that it's a step above Applebee's. And I was outraged because I feel that now, like, fine, it's not like a steakhouse, Cheesecake Factory, but to put it in comparison to Applebee's, where they don't even, I'm sorry,
a step above, not the same.
They don't even try Applebee's. It's literally off the truck, frozen, throw it in grease, and then throw it on the plate. Like it's the bare minimum at Applebee's.
Let's cut to 2 years ago when Michael was at Applebee's every Saturday for happy hour.
I was there every Saturday because I wasn't there every Saturday. That's not true. I was there a couple Saturdays because of the happy hour at the bar. Now they can't mess up beer; it's already created. So I know a big pint for like $4 while you watch the game. That's a good deal. And so in my mind, I thought that, this is my thing. I'll come to Applebee's and I'll come to the happy hour and I'll have some cheap drinks. But then the food is garbage. I'm sorry to your sponsors or, people who are fans of Applebee's out there. But They're daily in trouble.
Applebee's.
Say I didn't say
Applebee's. Michael does not reflect our values in the future.
Well,
If you want to be a sponsor of our show,
they need to get what's that man's name?
Gordon
That
Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay. Who's the other one with the outrageous flavors? Guy Fieri. Somebody need to go in there and help him out.
What's that got to be a restaurant? What's it called? Restaurant. It used to be like Bar Rescue, where he used to go in there and help
Yeah.
them out, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Cafferty, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
yeah,
saying,
me and
like,
Mike-
we went to Cheesecake Factory and it was cool, but I'm saying, is it $30 for an entree? Cool.
but also they give you like 20 pounds of meat or food like for your entree. So it's not like, oh, it's a typical burger and fries. It's like, here's a giant ass burger and 10 pounds of fries, and like that you gotta
Or paying for quantity, not quality. That's what you're saying.
well, and the experience, like, again, I feel like it's better than Applebee's. Granted, is Cheesecake Factory cutting up potatoes and frying them for French fries? Maybe not, but at least they put in seasoning and type of salt and pepper on it. Versus Applebee's is straight from freezer to fryer to your plate. Still half frozen sometimes. I don't know. I mean this to be an anti-Applebee's podcast, but I have pretty strong opinions on them.
Honestly, I think Cheesecake Factory kind of overrated.
Exactly.
I mean, not on a food type of reasoning. I just think that like people, I think they think like Cheesecake Factory. I bet you there is probably I was about to say 100. There's probably another 10 better restaurants for what you want. That's not a name brand of Cheesecake Factory that you could find wherever you at. And maybe we just don't know it because the major chains are the Applebee's, Cheesecake Factory, things like that. But last time I went to the Cheesecake Factory, I don't really like the ambiance of it. It seems like it's too crowded.
Yeah, it's like there's all. Michael said this. It's like there's always a wait, and then when you like, and plus it's like the ones by us, it's connected to the mall. So how are you trying to be like this fancy place, and then you're next to AMC, and then
that's the thing. It's like they do the dim lighting like it's a higher class of a restaurant, but you packed in too close to everybody, and it's like they want to be multiple things at once. Then you got the bar, then you got the cheesecake, so it's kind of like you want to be three things at once.
Yeah.
I don't know where all this hate for Cheesecake Factory coming from.
Hey man, you started to hate on Applebee's and the hate came out my heart.
The conversation was Applebee's in comparison to Cheesecake Factory. I just said you can't compare them. Now we going down on Cheesecake Factory.
Because we was talking about overrated, and I just feel like it depends on what I'm looking for that day. Like if somebody was like if it's like a Friday night and I wanted to go somewhere, honestly, and I'm with my family, I'll probably pick Applebee's. It's a more lighter, family-oriented thing. Now, if I was like me and the wife was on a date, Applebee's would not be the choice. Cheesecake Factory would be the last resort on that list because I have to find a nice restaurant type of thing. Like if I was on an anniversary or something like that, I'll have to find a nice restaurant. But that thing you got to find where my last resort would be like, all right, in my back pocket is going to be Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but it ain't like the best thing like in the world, but in comparison to Applebee's, America's favorite neighbor, which means lazy neighbor, then I'm going then take me to Cheesecake Factory, have me wait an hour just to get a table, an hour for food, and then pay $190 just for one person.
Damn.
Well, I mean, but then you have leftovers, probably left for cheesecake, so you kind of get
right. I mean, that's one of those things where if you go into these places, you're gonna pay an arm and a leg. So it's gonna be like, all right, I already have this established in my mind. I'm about to spend $200 when I go out here. You made that decision once you decide to go there.
Right. Laura, didn't you love the macaroni and cheese ball?
You mean the 4 I got for $30? I mean,
Well,
do I
each
think
one
they
was full of
freshly made
flavor.
those back there? I'm not
Each
sure.
one was full of flavor. Wasn't thrown together like,
Well, yeah, I think it's like what Matthew said. Like we did end up going after we had done an activity and we had the kids with us. So maybe that wasn't like, it was like you said, it's like a weird place maybe for families. And you could tell there's a lot of birthdays going on there. But yeah, to me, if I'm going to spend those kind of prices, I'd rather be at not a chain restaurant.
Right. But speaking of kids, Laura, you was talking about spring break activities.
Yeah, so we had actually went there after. So the kids are on spring break this week, and that's how we ended up at the Cheesecake Factory because we were out in Chesterfield. But yeah, so we've been on spring break and we've been doing a couple different things. We took them rock climbing. We went to a place where you get covered up like a splatter paint room. So they give you blank canvases. You go in a room, you can just like splatter paint around. What else did we do? We went to the blues game. Today we went to the circus. So we just been trying to, they're on break. So we took off and we were trying to, just get them to do some different things they hadn't done before. So one thing I kind of feel like when they go on spring break, I'm on spring break. Like I take off work and your mother's always like, this isn't your spring break.
exactly.
Break.
Nah, a lot of people at work do that here. Like I know this coming week is when the kids are all on spring break, and I know a lot of people gonna be going out of town. A lot of people ain't gonna be at work and stuff like that. Especially being here because now you be trying to travel and stuff with the kids, but now you got a full week, so I get that.
Yeah, that's where. And I was trying to think of like, I try to do different things for them that I haven't done. And I was trying to think, what do you guys remember us doing for spring break when we were kids?
Spring break, I don't remember. I always remember our summer vacations to Lost Valley Lake and the Ozarks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
We did that during the summer, but as far as spring break, I don't remember us doing anything for like that week or so.
See, that's what I said.
Yeah.
But your mom was like, oh, how you forget. You guys get grown and catch amnesia. She's like, we was at Lake of the Ozarks. I'm like, for spring break, we were there? She's like, yes. And I was like, I'll check with my brother.
Maybe I remember going there, but I still remember the time frame. She could be right. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember that. Cause I'm like, to me, that would seem like maybe that's true.
Summer.
I don't remember. Right.
I bet right now she's screaming at her in her car right now. I'm talking about you. You ungrateful kids.
Right.
I've done for you.
So, Mike, do you remember that?
Me all the time.
I mean, honestly, I don't remember. But
See?
All right, let it be noted that 3 out of 3 kids don't remember going anywhere on spring break.
I remember more of like the summer stuff, like going to the lake and stuff, and going on the boat.
Right. That's what I remember.
Which, by the way, you tell people that you had a boat, and like I don't know about like everybody loses their mind. Oh, you had a boat? Oh my god! I was like, hey, we didn't have a boat. Our parents had a boat, and like yeah, but it wasn't like a yacht. People keep thinking that we have yachts. We had a boat. It was nice.
Well, 100%. Especially be like, oh, we had a boat. Like, oh yeah, and it had a bathroom on it too. And they think that y'all got money. It was like no, it was like it was a nice boat, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a yacht or nothing. It was cool.
No.
We went from talking about our parents never take us nowhere to, oh yeah, we had a boat.
let them draw whatever conclusion they want to. bathroom order.
Laura leaves it open ended, so people can be, oh, they were financially well off. They have boats.
Make whatever conclusion you want.
Hey, yeah, we ain't nothing wrong with having a boat.
Oh yeah, we also went to the movies while on spring break with the kids. So I know someone on this podcast will have a strong opinion, but what's your when you go to the movies and the whole do you bring snacks in? What's your
okay, here we go. Not the whole do you bring things in, like it's a common thing people try to do.
Matthew?
Do I bring snacks in? No.
But is it common?
Is it I don't know if it's common, but it is a common thing that people known to do. Like, I don't know how often people do it. Honestly, I say common. I think it's common people bring stuff in there. Like, I see some shit the other day where this lady brought in like fucking a fish boil into her thing. Like, you got crab legs, the potatoes, the corn, doing all this stuff. I get some, dollar store candy, some chips, something like that. I get that. Now we bringing in full meals and stuff like that. I see another one where dude had cereal, a bowl, some milk, and everything. So I think people take advantage of it.
So there's levels, right? Like, okay, if I'm gonna theater candy, your Milk Duds, Whoppers, like stuff that you can get like 5 for $5 at Walgreens, like to me, that's fine. And I'm not saying like I wouldn't also, like we brought some theater candy, but I still get popcorn and drinks. Like I'm still buying something. Like, but to me, that's fine. Like, that's not like, I saw, like you said on Instagram, someone had like a car seat and it looked like it was a baby, but really the baby was like popcorn and
right.
all in the bottles. Like it was extreme. So Michael is always coming at us like, it's about the experience. Why are you going if you're not gonna pay for the stuff? Like to me, like it's it's varying. Like I think it's fine. Like I don't think they honestly care if you brought in a couple like you said, some candy, but like obviously a 5-course meal, that's a different story.
You tell me the people at AMC do not care if people just casually bring in food that they already have available for sale as part of their business. Just bring it in and don't say anything.
I'm telling you that 17, 18-year-old Cody, who's checking tickets, does not care that you're bringing in candy. He could care less.
Well, it's not Cody's business. Cody, but the CEO and the executive board of AMC is like across the country. All these fools let people taking candy. Now our sales are down, and now we got to charge extra tickets or do this preferred ticket nonsense.
Well, the CEOs are charging $6 for something that's $1 at Walgreens. I don't know.
They gotta make a profit. My thing is like, yeah, I know it's expensive, but to me, it's like it's all part of the experience. Like I go to theater, I go to one like Alamo where like they have an actual waiter. It's like a menu, and like they can serve you drinks and food throughout the movie. So to me, I like going there because it's part of the experience. You pay extra for it, but but I like the opportunity. But to me, I'm just like either don't go if you can't afford what they're doing, or just eat beforehand. I mean, if you pay $16 for a ticket, might as well just throw an extra $4 for the candy. Now I know 4 times 4, it's for you guys and the family, so that can add up. I'm just saying, don't be taking money out of AMC's pockets.
Well, I don't give a fuck about AMC's pockets, but like I said about Cheesecake Factory, when you go to the movies, it's kind of be like, I'm going to spend, especially if we was talking about 10, 15 years where all they had was the popcorn and the drinks and the seats, regular ass seats. But now with the theaters now, when you have the reclining, the waiters, the beer, all the burgers, everything else like that. I chalk that up as part of the experience, just like Cheesecake Factory. When we go out to these spots, I'm not gonna I know I'm gonna pay for everything, but like Mike said, it's part of the whole experience of everything. Like, oh, I want to get the waiter to bring my son some chicken tenders to his thing. I'm not trying to smuggle in some Tyson's chicken tenders or whatever like that. I just buy the shit that they got there. It's gonna be what we do, and that's it.
Yeah, I think like that's true. If you're getting real food like that, I would agree. But I will never buy theater candy for $5-6 when I could just get it at Walgreens on the way there.
So theaters across the country, be on the lookout for these two. Just know
be on the lookout for the people smuggling crab legs. I think they're higher priority than me.
Right. Yeah, that's 100% true. Anybody, if you're not just bringing in candy and popcorn, chips, anything else, you need to be that's like a domestic terrorism. Yeah, I need to get out of there. Imagine you in there in a theater trying to watch Cocaine Bear. Next thing you know, you smelling crab legs and all this other extra stuff in here. It's like, come on, man. You got to think about other people besides yourself. You're hearing the cracking of the legs and everything as you're trying to watch a movie.
Too much.
The smells, yeah, that's a lot.
Right. But Mike, this is your first time on. Tell the people who you are.
Okay. Well, my name is Michael, aka Mike. I'm Laura Matthews' brother. I'm 2 years older than Matthew, 3 years older than Laura. No, I'm sorry, 5 years older than Laura.
Steve said you forgot to mention your relationship to him.
That's fine.
Matthew said that's about me, not who else I know. Should I ask about the you meant the gas station too while we at it?
So that's the level Steve's at? Just some random gas station?
No, but I'm starting, entering and going out. Steve's part of the outer. Let me see. Lived in New York for, over almost like 17 years, and now I'm living in Colorado. Still looking for the special lady, but we'll
Okay. She's coming. She's out there somewhere.
They're coming. They're coming.
One day.
Right. Right.
One day I'll find that special somebody.
Right. But have you found any special concerts coming up?
Yeah. So that, I always say, like, I wish I would travel more, like internationally. But the thing I try to do is do concerts. So I have a couple lined up this year. So in January, I saw Ari Lennox in Las Vegas. Beginning of May, so in a month or so, I'm going to Las Vegas again to see the Lovers and Friends Festival. And then that's May. And then June, going to California to see Janet Jackson. That's June. July, going to see Madonna here in Colorado. August, going back to Vegas to see Beyonce. And that's it.
I didn't know that was confirmed.
Damn, that's a lot. I can't even remember the last time I actually been to a concert. Oh no, we talked about this before. The last time I've been at a concert was the time we seen Nelly and Destiny Child when you used to work at the amphitheater. That's the last concert I've been to.
Oh man,
that was years ago.
Was I there? I want to see that concert.
By the way, Laura and Steve could have went to Lovers and Friends, but they chickened out.
Let's talk about how there's people in the comments saying that it's feels like it's 100 degrees. It's on concrete. People were passing out. There's no like, you know, you're standing the whole time. You don't know if like the people you want to see might be going on at the same time. I said, let Michael go this year and we'll see how it is. And then maybe we'll go the next year. But I like the Lovers and Friends because it gives you like a bunch of people. Like, you've seen the like poster, right, Matthew, of all the people that be there? Yeah.
But I go back to that's something that's like, we talked about experiences and things like that. I think that is just, from what I hear and see on social media, that is just a part of the experience of going to these concerts, these Burning Mans, these festivals and stuff like that, to where you're going to be out there for a long ass time and everything else like that. That's just part of the whole vibe and stuff like that, from what I get.
Yeah. Like, you know, I think Laura's looking for a little more comfort when she's having part of her you know, experience, which I understand because
she probably wants she probably wants a stadium show.
Yeah, like Vegas,
not a festival.
Vegas in the summer. Like, I like the idea of the festival because of all the people, but like even Michael, when you went to Ari Lennox, you were standing room only, and you said like you getting a little for standing room only.
Like I was done after that. My feet were shattered.
But you about to be outside in the Vegas heat like all day standing.
But that will hopefully a little bit different because like you're walking around, you're going to, you know, going to see this or going to the bathroom or getting food or
passing out, getting sent to the medic.
Well, versus just with, you know, with the standing room only, like you're standing there like for hours, like you're standing in line to get inside the, you know, the venue. Then when you're in the venue, you're waiting. Then you have the opening act, and you're still like, and this entire time you're standing. People, when it's not funny, but we went to Ari Lennox, people were passing out. At least like,
and that was inside, right?
Yeah, that was inside. It wasn't even that hot or anything, but I guess, you know, you're just standing there the entire time, and you're filled with, you know, people are around you. Once the show's on, you know, you don't care, everything's great, but just the whole standing thing is just awful sometimes. And you know, I'm getting older, and so I'm just like, my bones can't take it.
Yeah, you 40 now.
Let me put my business out here in the podcast.
I mean, I hope you have a good time and you rave about it. It's enough to make us want to go. Steve loves Franchise Boys.
Any of this? I mean, okay, that's another
their
thing.
references to like to music is like has stopped in like the early 2000s. Everything is Chingy, Nelly.
Don't be mad because we rep St. Louis.
Unfortunately, people have been doing anything current for St. Louis for a while, so everything's country grammar. There's some new rappers out there.
Know where we're from. We just know where we're from, and we don't hide.
Great, here we go. I appreciate Nelly for that time period. I love that double CD, that sweatsuit CD, but he's hasn't put any current music out, so I'm hanging out with Megan.
He actually just put something out like 2 years ago, but it was like a country album.
Nobody want to hear that, Steve.
People do want to hear it. Matthew.
Yeah, the Midwest.
Matthew, when you people ask you where you from, where do you say?
St. Louis.
Ask your brother where he says he's from.
Where are you from?
St. Louis.
No, that's
you
not
say
what he said.
City every time.
He says he's not from St. Louis. He's from Kansas.
I do say I'm from St. Louis. People ask me, "Oh, where you from?" I may say Missouri, but my thing is, I was born in Kansas City. I spent a good amount of time there, and then we moved to St. Louis for me right before 6th grade. So you guys are younger, so you don't have much experience about Kansas City, but I lived there. I had a life there. So I don't just want to discount and just be like, oh, it's all about St. Louis. But yeah.
Where's Nelly from?
Is Nelly from St. Louis?
According to your logic, it'd be no.
Why? Where's he born?
He was born in like Mississippi or Texas or somewhere else, but then he moved to St. Louis, and that's where he was raised at. So when people say, where you from? I put in there where I was raised my years, my
The
teenage
majority.
childhood, majority years. Yeah. Now, if
I
somebody
don't,
says where I was born, of course I'll say Kansas City.
but I don't. If people ask me, like, meeting new people at work, oh, I say, oh, I'm from Missouri, and I'll say St. Louis. But only when I'm talking to, like, certain people that I'm like, oh, originally I was like born in Kansas City.
No, that's not how you say it to us. You be like, I'm not from St. Louis. Fuck Nelly. Fuck Chingy. That's how
Okay, see, no one ever said that. I
it's
just
so
said
many
that.
words.
Okay, so now we want to go there, we can go there. I never said anything about Nelly and Chingy. I just said that y'all need to move forward in terms of music. Um, even the Little Pumpkins are like Party in the USA, which is like 10 years old. Have them bump flowers. I could buy myself all flowers.
I cannot stand that song anymore.
Great. But I'm just saying that I say Missouri or I say St. Louis, but like I don't hate St. Louis. I'm always seeing you guys emos coupons.
Here we go.
Wacky Wednesday, 2 for
What
$1.
do you call March 14th then?
Pie Day.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Well, it can't always be about your precious St. Louis.
It is 314. You die.
Why are you poking me into this?
I've seen. Before I left for New York, I was like that too. But I've traveled the country, so I have a more, more bigger experiences. But I love St. Louis. I visit often. But yeah, I'm excited about this concert because something to do that's fun, and also too a lot of these artists that I grew up with are getting older, and so you never know when like they're going to stop touring or things of that nature. So, but I'm excited. I never seen Madonna perform live, and then Beyonce. I like the Renaissance album a lot, so I haven't seen her since like B-Day. So I'm excited to see about that one.
I'm glad you bringing her up. I'm about to bring her up later on. But we was talking, Mike, you was talking about music and stuff like that. Friend of the show, Jordan, put me on when I went back home about 30 Deep Grimy. Laura, see, y'all familiar with him?
No, should we be?
Oh yeah. He's rapper from St. Louis. He's done a song with Lil Baby. Look up 30 Deep Grimy.
Laura?
And he has a song. 30 Deep Grimy. He has a song called St. Louis Blues, and I play this shit back to back to back.
Lord 314, rappers dance. I'm saying
I got it up right now.
What's his name? Deep Smoke?
You don't care. He's not from,
Deep Smoke.
He's not from Kansas City, so you don't care.
Right.
30 Deep Grimy.
30 Deep. Oh, okay.
But yeah, listen to St. Louis Blues.
Let Me In, his new album. The Biggest Dookie. Oh, okay. I don't know what that song's about.
But Mike, you thinking about getting a dog?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it because, like, and where I live in Colorado, it's a huge dog-friendly city. Like I'm telling you, when I first moved here, if you see like 10 people walking outside, 8 or 9 have dogs. Like it's just a very big dog city. We had dogs growing up. Laura had Rampage, and now she has Barkley. So, and then you had pets as well. And so I've been thinking about it. I mean, because I've always wanted to get a dog, but my thing is like I would just make sure I was set up for a dog. So once I get it, it's like okay, this is it, for life. So I've been thinking about getting one, particularly a sheepadoodle, because Laura and Steve have one, and they're hyperallergenic excuse me, and they don't shed. So I really like that. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting that, as a single guy looking for love. It'd be nice to have a little companion. I could be like, hey, baby, no, I had the dog. The dog ran on my
Hey,
ran on
baby
my
to the
hand, the
dog,
leash,
or
and then run up to this someone special, like, oh, sorry, this your dog. I'm like, oh yeah, it's my dog. Sorry, this is my dog Marvin. How you doing? Well, hi Marvin. And then you strike a conversation, as you know, you go on a date. So that could be a possibility, but more like, I do want a dog. I love dogs, and like, it'll be a great companion.
Yeah, I
Dog.
want to. Same thing is like we're probably not gonna get a dog here because it just costs so much to get it back in the States and things like that.
Mhm.
But once we get back to the States next year and stuff, plan on getting a dog and everything. And like you said, like my son's allergic, so all the dogs we've ever had was hyperallergenic. But we've always had like toy poodles, and
Mhm.
basically seeing Laura's dog, how big it is like, so I've always wanted a bigger dog.
Yeah.
The wife always wanted a smaller dog, but I'm like, just I seen just a regular poodle, not a toy poodle, and I'm like, I think I want a regular size poodle because they get probably not as big as Barkley, but they get bigger than a small dog or whatever like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like in Barkley, like their previous dog Rampage, he's a pretty big dog, but then Barkley's not even a year old, and he's already bigger. I feel like bigger than Rampage was. So, but same thing. I'm with you. I love a big dog, so I'm gonna get one. But like, it's just so damn expensive. These dogs, like, you know, they don't have like sheepadoodles and things like that at the pound. So
well, they're
you got
highly
like,
sought after. So yeah.
yeah, they're hard. No, they're hard sought
Like
after.
those French bulldogs, toy
Mhm.
poodles, all those like not specialty dogs, but you know what I mean, type of thing. Like
Oh
all
yeah,
those are
they
expensive.
call them designer dogs. You could say.
Okay, yeah, all of that. Like even here, like you can get cats all around. You can get cats at basically the pound and everything. Dogs, they charge in $8,000-9,000 for like a Labrador Retriever and things like that at here. So
Oh,
it's
because it's
crazy.
rare. It's rare in.
Oh, well, it's not. I don't know if it's rare, but it's just for some reason dogs cost way so much more than cats.
Mm.
Cats, they walking around the street, or you can get a cat for like maybe $200. Dogs, you ain't getting a dog unless lower than $2,000. That's for any
Mm.
dog.
Any
Wow.
dog?
Yeah,
Wow.
You just said labs. You go to Pound right now and get a lab mix here.
right.
They I was looking at prices out here in Colorado. It was like 2 or 3 grand for like a Labrador puppy. I'm like, shit. So I'm
Well, it also has
probably
to do with like, you know, they track all this stuff, right, with their like genes and their that's not the right word, but like with their parents, they track everything, their bloodline. So, but the one thing I try to tell Michael is like, getting a puppy, like you see how he has all these concerts scheduled coming up. Like having a puppy is like having a kid. Like you have to be there, you have to train them. Like he's in an apartment, which means he's gonna have to walk them. And his mentality is, I'll pay somebody to train them. I'll pay somebody to walk them. But I'm like, that person with you 24/7. At some point, it'll be the middle of the night, and Marvin or whatever is gonna wake up, and you're gonna have to get up, and it is gonna change. Like you're not gonna be able to sleep through the night, at least in the beginning, until they get a little older, especially for getting a puppy.
Right.
yeah,
That's
that's
true.
that's true. So that's why I was thinking about getting one, but like getting a dog within 2 or 3 weeks of getting it, oh, I'm gone for a couple of days. Then I gotta pay to board them. So I'll wait until stuff slows down for me socially. But I get it, and that's the thing that I haven't really got it yet. I just want to make sure that okay, once I get this dog in my house, I'm committed to everything I got to do to make sure that it goes well.
Right. But I was able to watch this TV show called Swarm on Amazon Prime. Have you guys either heard or watched it?
No,
I've heard of it. It's on my Apple TV to watch, but I definitely heard about it and heard about certain things.
What are the certain things you heard about?
Um, The biggest thing I've heard is like, oh, there's some reference to Beyonce as far as like the artists involved in that, or Swarm and Bees and Beehive. I've heard that, and also a certain sex scene with Chloe Bailey and I forget old boy's name, but yeah, apparently that was, I don't know if it was explicit for her because we've never seen her like that before, or in general it was explicit or what, but yeah, but I do want to watch it. Is it good?
Yeah, Chad mentioned it last week, and the Chloe Bailey thing is she's taking back shots like 20 seconds into the first episode. From the dude from Snowfall, that guy, that actor.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically, I really wish once you watch it, I want you to come back and give me your thoughts on it, because basically it revolves around, basically it's Beyonce, Naija, and she, the girl Brie, the star, she is a huge Naija fan. And she's, I don't want to say crazy because that's not correct. I want to say she's very, very, very caring about Naija, and how like Naija just dropped her new tickets to her. We'll just say, I can't remember the name of it. We'll just say Renaissance, right?
Yeah.
And she can't pay her rent and things like that, but she got a credit card to pay for these tickets and things like that. So then she surprised her best friend, Chloe Bailey, with these tickets. And she was like, wait, so I had to borrow money from my parents and everything else, like from other people, but you got money for these tickets and everything. And it's a spoiler, but it's not a detailed spoiler. Basically, she asked, hold on. She asked, what's your favorite? Oh, who's your favorite artist? I think that's what she says. And then, so for example, Mike, who's your favorite artist?
Mariah Carey.
So in response, she'll be like, well, Mariah Carey might be a good one, but basically she'll go and be like, oh, Naija has 14 Grammy nominations and this, and this, and this, and this. So basically what happens is, spoilers, if you don't want to know the main plot of this, skip 45 seconds. Basically, if she finds people who talk trash against Naija online and basically kills them. So it is a horror. I don't know. It's a horror mixed with comedy, thriller, all together and stuff like that. Now, I'm not hip with all these new people and things like that be on these shows. So as I'm watching it, I'm not recognizing any of these people. But apparently, Paris Jackson, she's on this. She plays a stripper. But the biggest one who surprised me was Billie Eilish is in this. And as I'm watching this, I never once knew this was Billie Eilish. So there's a lot of cameos and stuff like that from people. You know more about these social media people and singers and stuff like that than I do. So you probably like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. But it's only 7 episodes. It's a good microscope to some, not all, some of the quote unquote beehive, how they do target people online. But I don't think it's,
you want them to come for you. You want them to come on this podcast.
I would never say nothing bad on Beyonce's internet or Beyonce's podcast networks. I would never say anything landish like that. But I think it. Right. So I thought it was interesting. So as somebody who go to these concerts and you have your favorite artist, because honestly, there's a one person I care that much about to be like, I'm about to go, because I know also you go on these posts and you reply back to these randos and when they say stuff. So I don't do that. So I figured that
I used to be in the comments, but then I realized it served no point. Like we're going back and forth all day. Then everybody's still mad at one another. So I stopped being in the comments because but I used to be that guy.
Right. But overall, it's a great show. Directed by Donald Glover. Even Malaya? No. Sasha? No. What's the older one? Obama?
I think it's Malia.
Malia. Well, she
Yeah.
either wrote or she was a writer for a couple of episodes.
Wow.
Uh, but
So
yeah. So
everybody's involved.
after watching something great, I decided to watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. No beating around this bush. This shit is trash. This shit is garbage. This shit is gomy. Um, all of the above. Whatever you think is bad about a movie, they put it in this movie. Bad acting, bad CGI, bad plot. Everything was bad about this movie.
But it wasn't like
Oh,
where it's supposed to be bad, like that's part of it. Like,
Well, no, I think that. I mean, I looked this up after the fact, but um, okay. So people don't know. It's basically a story of Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin, and everything. He used to feed him all the time. He went off to college. He didn't. So they had to. They reverted back to their animal instincts, and they were starving because they weren't used to uh, finding food on their own. So then they ate Eeyore, and
oh
they
my
reverted
God.
back to their animal instincts, and then they swore off all humans. Like, so if anybody humans came into the woods and stuff, they would kill them. That's basically the premise of the movie.
See, I heard about it and like, people were either like for or against it, but I was assumed that, it was in good quality. That like, the biggest thing was the fact that it was such, oh, it's just a horror story about Winnie the Pooh. But now that it's being seen by people, you're saying that it sucks?
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was here for the premise of it, of taking
Yeah.
a childhood thing and turn it into a horror movie, but it was just so low budget, and the plot and everything was like, it just didn't make sense. Um, so it's just not good at all. It's not good at all. Like, I was in it, I wanted to turn it off, but then I was like, no, I've already doing this, and plus I need something to talk about on the podcast. So I was like, I need to finish this up. Um, but I mean, the movie did make money though, because apparently they only had $100,000 to make this movie, and they did it in 10 days.
Well, there
And
you
they, and they,
go. No wonder.
and they made it. They made back $1 million.
Okay. Well,
Um, but I just wanted to bring this one part up as I was looking up research. So they said that they do plan on having another sequel to this movie, but also they announced two other horror films: Bambi, The Reckoning, and Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. So there's supposed to be more of these childhood Disney-esque movies turned into horror movies.
see,
Steve,
those
what do you
could be
think
good.
about that?
Like you
I did
said,
hear something about that actually.
but what do you feel about it? You grew up in all those Disney movies.
I mean, I'm not expecting a lot out of them.
the premise sounds good. Like I
It's
like
like
the
Winnie
idea
the
of like,
Pooh, Blood and Honey. I wasn't expecting a lot out of them. I mean, just from the first previews, it's like, look, this guy's wearing a evil pig mask. I mean, or piglet.
And that's the thing, is it was like, he kept, you never once was like, that's Winnie the Pooh. You kept thinking that's a person in a pig
Right.
mask and stuff like that, to where and he never talks in it. He says one line at the very end. But I'm if you like gruesome like those slasher movies and stuff like that, it's a lot of that stuff in there. Like, a lady gets her head run over with a car, you see the eye pop out, a woman gets it thrown into a wood chipper, but it's just, it was not good for me. Now maybe 30 years from now, this might turn into a cult classic and everybody thinks fondly of it, but as of right now, it was not good at all.
the
But
premise sounds good. Like I like it, but if it's not done well, like I'm actually a big fan of like slasher movies and horror movies, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where like people getting their heads split open and things like that. I love that stuff, but there's a certain level
This is
of
very
effort and
concerning.
money they put towards it. So like it's good quality versus like you can't be like horror, gory, whatever, but then not put the effort money wise to make it look somewhat decent. I mean, granted, it's insane. Like in one of the movies, Chainsaw Massacre, they was a scene where the guy was on a bus full of people, and the guy and then the murderer like went through everybody with a chainsaw, like the entire bus, like cutting people in half and stuff like that. If that would have been like low budget or like, you know, cheaply done or bad CGI, they would have been like turned off. But the reason why it was enjoyable because, you know, it was very realistic to like, you know, that horrible situation.
Right. And maybe that's what it is that they did this in 10 days. And maybe because I know with the IP expired of the copyright expired of the Winnie the Pooh book, that's why they was able to pull this off. So maybe next time they do it, they will have more time, a better backing, better writers, even better actors that can make it better. But for this one, no bueno.
Yeah.
I wondered if it was like originally when I saw it, it seemed like one of those joke things like you see online. Like, is this a for real thing? So I kind of wondered, did it start like that and there was really people interested in it and they're like, all right, let's do this. But then, you know, they had to come up with a budget and do all of this stuff. And so they just, you know, they had to work with what they had. But yeah, maybe like you're saying, since they didn't make some money on it, they'll be able to put.
But it was like you said, it's like they took it, they were going to do something with it. So I guess they did a trailer or whatever and they had a budget. And then like the buzz of the internet. So then they got more money off the buzz and everything. So they said 100,000. So that's just imagine. I don't know how much the money they started with, but if they once the hype got there and then they got more backing, it still only went up to 100,000. So, but maybe now next time they will have it'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so now up to the meat and potatoes of the podcast, the movie.
Medic!
Oh, Jesus. What is that?
Beth, we should go.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter.
Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it. No, don't eat that, don't eat that. Let's see what kind of effect that has on us.
The bear, it fucking did cocaine. A bear did cocaine.
An odd group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. All right, Mike, you're new on this show. So what do you think about this movie?
It was right up my alley. I give it 2 thumbs up. I thought it was really good because to me, it combined the idea of cocaine bear is just silly in itself. So the film knows that it's silly and, you know, and respects that. So there's a little, a level of camp involved with it, but also too, you know, it's action and a little bit of horror and good CGI and effects. So on that end, I really appreciate it. That was a good movie.
So I was thinking that, you know, it is what it was. I did like, you know, roughly the time that it came out. Because like everything out there now is like either it seems like superhero or some sort of dramatic movie. You know,
why Steve hate against Marvel?
Nothing. I said I liked it for what it was. It was a nice, you know, breakup from everything else that's out there. And
thank you for the movie sucks.
4 movies out recently. There's Scream. There's like,
but I
In
mean,
the Woods.
But it was pretty campy to me, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Friday the 13th movies in a way. But yeah, I mean, I liked it for what it was. After seeing it, I don't think I would have went to see it in theaters, even though I wanted to. But you know, I still liked it.
To me, it was all right. Like clearly up Michael's alley. It was a little like some of the gore. I'm like, was that needed? But that's the kind of movie it is. And then it was one of those movies like you want to yell at the screen, like why? Like this bear is already attacking people. You get back to your ranger cabin and you don't pick up the phone. Like nobody called the police. Like the ambulance came and then no one's calling the police. Like just let this bear go wild. Like that's what my thing was. I'm like, but I guess maybe that's part of it, you know. I like the acting.
I love this movie. I've known this story probably for the past 10 years. I say it's kind of long. At least for the past 6 years, I've known this story. And I've always said that somebody should make this movie. Now that they did it, I loved everything about it. Only thing is, I wish they would have made the bear bigger. But besides that, I like the comedy in there. I like the bear. I liked everything about it because it didn't take itself too seriously. You had the stuff about, you know, the cocaine in the bear. You had the villains. Like I loved everything about this movie.
I agree. Yeah. I didn't realize that I'm horrible with the characters' names, but the Rangers' love interest or the
Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
Yeah, I didn't realize to almost like damn near like after he was already done that was him, and you know, wearing makeup and stuff.
Oh no! When I first saw it, I was like, Modern Family.
But like Matthew, like I had heard about it, like you know, you hear things like a long time ago before this was a movie. But and maybe I don't know if you know, but I thought in real life the story that this is based off of, the bear didn't go on a rampage, right? Didn't it like just like
no? But I'll give you more information when we do the trivia.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like the comedy part of it. I'm not big into the gore stuff, so something I kind of cringed at, like when the park ranger was in the ambulance and it stopped and she fled out and her face like slid against the asphalt, and I kind of thought she was alive, so I thought she would be the one. Like it seemed like no matter what, she kept coming back. So I kind of thought like that wouldn't have, you know, she would have still been alive. But yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
I love the gore. That's right up my alley.
It's a little concerning.
What'd you think about O'Shea Jackson Jr. in this?
I was like, look at him. He's gone from what was his first movie?
Playing his daddy.
Yeah, and now he's like, I mean, beyond this, he's been in. I think he was in one of the. Was he in Mandalorian, or was he in the other Andor? But
I thought he was in one of those Star Wars.
Yeah, he was in one of the Star Wars. I look at him; he's like working with all types of people, doing all types of different genres.
Yeah, I like him out here, so I'm happy to see him doing stuff. I really thought the little boy Henry, whatever his name was, he was funny.
Star of the show.
Right.
Yeah, you really didn't need the little girl.
But she was just the
mom. I thought it was kind of messed up of the mom. She's like, yeah, little boy, you come with me and go in this cave to find my daughter. Like, he's got to die too? Send him home.
Hey, that's his best friend. And plus, I think he liked her. Because remember, he carved those initials in the tree. So he was trying to go save her. Remember, he was like, I've done cocaine before. And then they ate it or whatever. So
I believe that.
I know.
Right. My question, like to Laura, it was like at the beginning of the movie, I was like, they find this package, and I'm like, how do these 10, 12-year-old kids know what an unopened package of cocaine looks like?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why they showed at the beginning. That was during DARE and the war on drugs, and this is your brain on drugs. So they was probably showing it about if you see this, don't look at it. All that stuff that we grew up.
The little girl said something like, those are just like the pictures they showed at some assembly at school. So it's funny though, the first instinct was to do it and not to be like, no, this is what they warned us about.
See, that's why DARE don't really work. All right, so what do you guys think the Rotten Tomatoes was on this movie? Laura, you go first.
97.
All right, Steve.
I'm gonna say 52.
All right, Mike.
Now, sorry, I should know this, but there's two scores of Rotten Tomato, like the critics one, right? Not that the fan one.
Yeah, the critic one, and then the audience score later. But yeah, just the critic one.
Okay, I would say, because I think that it was well done and it was campy and didn't take itself too seriously. You didn't ask for this, but I'm telling you why I think it should be.
Yeah, say the number.
Great. I'm gonna go with 92.
68%. With a 71% audience score.
67.
I thought it would be higher.
Well, it was like
no, 68% with a 71% audience score.
71% audience score. But I mean, all right, well. I thought it was good. I thought that it was the film is, like I said, the film itself didn't take itself too seriously, but and also too, it was still well made and all the various actors and the different scenes, and it was quality to me. But
right. All right, trivia time. Which one of these actors did not star in a Star Wars franchise? A. Kerry Russell. B. Alden Ehrenreich. C. O'Shea Jackson Jr. Or D. Ray Liotta.
I'm gonna go with B.
And I'm glad I'm doing this without Chad, because I know Chad would know the answer off the top of his head.
You Star Wars fan?
It said, Jackson, except you guys already kind of alluded to the fact that he was maybe in one of these. So I'm going to go with, was Ray Liotta? I guess B, because I don't know her.
Him.
Great. You know who
is B again?
He is.
Which actor is B?
Hold on, let me get his name on the actual.
Was that the kid?
The kid.
Or the son of Ray Liotta?
Yeah. We need a Henry spinoff series.
Nobody wants.
Little kids with southern accents are funny. I think I love Big City Greens.
Yeah, he was Ray Liotta's son, Alden.
Yeah, I still go with B.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I think it was D, Ray Liotta.
I changed my answer to Ray Liotta.
What was your answer before?
B, his son.
Okay. All right. So the correct answer is D, Ray Liotta. Carrie played in The Rise of Skywalker. Alden played in Solo, A Star Wars Story, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. played in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes, that's what it was.
All right. Now here's a trivia dump. Inspired in part by a true event in 1985 when a corrupt Kentucky cop and lawyer turned drug smuggler Andrew Thornton flew in a smuggling run, dumping packages of cocaine over Georgia before attempting to escape with nearly 80 pounds of it strapped to his body. However, the parachute malfunctioned, possibly from the extra weight, and Thornton fell to his death in Knoxville, Tennessee, residence driveway. 40 kilos of the thrown packages landed in National Forest. It was consumed by a black bear who overdosed, most likely within minutes, dying from cerebral hemorrhage and respiratory and heart failure after eating $20 million, $55 million adjusted for inflation. With the lone exceptions of Thornton and the bear, no other casualties have been reported. So yes, when this actually happened, those were only two. And the reason how this took off was it was a Reddit thread where basically somebody put on there for about 5 minutes, this bear was the most what's the word they use? Like apex person on the face of the planet. Yeah, something like that for those 5 minutes. So yeah, in real world, there was no
murderous spree and things like that. Next one. Ray Liotta's final. This is Ray Liotta's final completed role before he passed on May 26, 2022. He died a week after he came in to re-record his lines in post-production. And the last one I got is the concept of a horror movie about a wild animal going on a drug-fueled rampage was first visited with Jerry Landon's Raccoon in 2010 about a crack-addicted raccoon killing people in the Bronx. I never heard this. I had to look this up. Yes, this is a real movie.
Was it similarly made like Winnie the Pooh with $10,000?
I don't know, but the cover art didn't look like it had high quality to it. I thank y'all so much for being on. Do you guys need to plug anything on the way out?
We don't.
For me, just any ladies out there, get a good vibe from this conversation, and want to reach out, please, reach out to Chad or Matthew's socials, and let's
you don't want to put you don't want to put your social medias out there from them to hit DM you immediately.
I want some type of filter, so send me the beautiful ladies that you think might be will be a good match for me. So I feel like you and Chad got a good way of being able to talk to people and dissect them. So
okay, so just for anybody listening, Mike, tell them, what are you looking for? So which one the type to hit you up.
Nice shoulders. You
right. That's the first thing I'd be looking for when I look for somebody. I've been thinking, you know what? I want somebody with some nice shoulders.
Something that really catches my eye, I would say. The shoulder thing is great. Works out, take care of themselves. Maybe have a mustache.
I got you. I think we get. I think somebody's out there listening is probably like, "That's me. That's me." All right. But yes, thank you guys all for real for being on. I really appreciate it, Mike. Hopefully, you had enjoyed your time. If the numbers are good, we'll definitely bring you back on. If not, thank you for being on. And yes. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weishouldtalkpod@gmail.com. Like our Facebook page, We Should Talk About This at Work, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as We Should Talk Pod. Follow Chad on Letterboxd at BOW1213 and me at Mr. King 0257. Join us next week as we discuss the epic action movie RRR. And like always, I don't know if this was a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode. But whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.